Justice League Unlimited issue 19, Mark Waid writing with Dan Mora on art. Matt's a glutton for punishment. Take it away.
Yep. Not for much longer, because I think I'm dipping on this one again now, because I gave it 3 issues, and this is just more of the Mark Waid being the quilted blanket that's tying the rest of the DCU together. And it opens with Gordon yelling at Batman for bringing in the amnesty program, and tying it into what's going on in Gotham. Is like, what Will Savage will do. He's already after all the heroes. This is only going to make it worse. Diana's giving a speech to the United Nations, and then Captain Adam's talking to the military, where they're encouraging them that, hey, no, this is all planned. It's not just every villain. There's a series of tests that we have to meet and do everything. And it gets to the point where Livewire and Jack Ryder have their show that was teased in that weird thing back in February on their date issue, where they're disagreeing about this, where Livewire's like, look, this is kind of my story. I am a recovering villain that has been trusted. Like, why can't we do this to more people? And Ryder's like, well, no, we can't, because these are the worst of the worst. And so they get into an actual argument off the show about everything. So but yeah, what's his name? Neutron. Neutron comes in, and he the Justice League goes to stop him. There's he's trying to get into, I think it was, I'm looking through because it splits off a bunch of different times to different stories. He goes to Fort Myer in Colorado, and he's trying to pull out toxic waste, because there's one of the DC Middle Eastern countries wants all of that, and in order, if he gets it to them, they'll cure him. So Neutron is this guy that's like a living energy being, right? They're going to say this. So he's doing that, but he's claiming he's working in the amnesty program. So this is the first problem that the Justice League Unlimited is running into. While they're all doing that, the Justice Gang of Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Hot Girl, and Guy Gardner are going off on their thing with the power bank, and they make references here to the one time that Cheshire and Cheetah try to rob them, and how we have to take this to OA because we've already had heists for this thing, and more people are going to want it, and it is their ultimate backup in case something like Absolute Power happens again. So as they're going, they end up running into this ship on this planet. There's space dinosaurs, which is really cool. But I'm trying to scope to there, because I think that's where that one leaves off. We don't get to back in. They end up on the ship of space dinosaurs, and that's cool. But yeah, there's not a lot going on here. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of pages. There's a lot of characters. The art looks great. But yeah, ultimately, it's just, it feels like filler, and I hate calling stuff filler, but there's no substance to a lot of this. I don't feel like we're going to glean anything from Mark Waid, which, as sad as that is, because that man's, he knows how to write a story. He's a wealth of DC knowledge. But he's just dropping Felix Faust in here with Neutron, and they're supposed to be the ones that are getting the toxic waste out. And then Starro, they have him wrapped up in stuff, and he gets out and latches on, to Felix Faust, and that's how they stop. And we get Lex monologuing about how much he hates magic, and there'll be one day he understands magic, but that's not now. The one big thing that does happen here is that Lex decides to take PR and essentially shuts off his comms as Batman's telling him to stop. Which is like, well, yeah, that's what happens when you bring Lex Luthor onto your team, right? The man does not play well with others. And another member of this team was Dr. Polaris, and Luthor actually does this smart thing where he explains to everybody that's, all the reporters and stuff, that, Dr. Polaris is the perfect person for this amnesty, because he's someone that has a dissociative identity disorder. And if they can learn to trust him and treat him like he's not a villain, you know, and use his magnetic powers for good, that might help keep that in check, right? So it seems like at the end here, Dr. Polaris is like, yeah, no, I'm part of this higher cause now, and it's thanks to the Justice League Amnesty Program. Batman's watching in dismay, and then more characters pop in, and they have to clarify that it's Connor Kent and Natasha Steele, right? Before their adventures in Supergirl happen. So another tie. But Airwave starts freaking out, and he just starts saying what's happening to me, and he becomes that living Soundwave again. And in his place, he gets transformed into Brainiac Queen, who wants to know where her mother is. And now the Brainiac Queen is on the Justice League satellite. And that's where I was like, okay, I'm good. I tried the Amnesty Program. I did 3 issues. Luthor was doing some weird stuff. It's a lot. So, and again, I know covers don't have to reflect, but it seemed like Revenge of Brainiac Queen was going to be a central part of the story, and she doesn't show up till the last 2 pages, you know? And yeah, so it's just the old bait and switch, and again, while there's not technically anything wrong, it's just not my bag right now. I have too many other books to read. If this came out on a smaller week where I could be like, okay, this is a fun little fluff, I can enjoy the art here. Like, again, it's Dan Mora. You can't say really anything bad. And there's not even a ton of busy here. I feel like he manages all the action really well. And I feel like he likes working with WAID, because WAID will be like, hey, do you want to draw Connor Kent? I'll put him into the issue. Right. And then we get Connor Kent not doing much of anything but appearing. Right. But you know, it's Connor. And like, again, when Airwave starts transforming into Brainiac Queen, it looks great. I just wish like there was more going on, and there's just not. So yeah, that's where I'll probably get off the ship here and be like, it was, you know, we tried, and you know, that's all. So I'll rate this now, and I'll give it a 6.5.